I wasn't there.
Well, I'm confused. On one hand, you said you weren't there, but on the other hand, you said you were young.
I wasn't there.
Your DNA is there.
Oh, nothing. I'm just let it go.
What do you mean?
A lawyer.
You'd like a lawyer?
I like a lawyer.
A 74-year-old serial killer sits across from detectives, calmly insisting he knew nothing about a murder from 1973. For decades, the case had gone cold, the evidence boxed away as the world moved on. And after 45 years, he likely believed whatever happened back then would stay buried forever. But before he ever entered that interrogation room, an undercover officer was already knocking on his front door. Posing as a driver who had accidentally backed into one of his parked cars, the undercover officer asked John Arthur Gautreaux to step outside and inspect the damage.
Sheriff's office. Yeah. Go ahead. Hands behind your back. Face the car. Go ahead and face the car.
What's this?
We'll talk to you in a minute. Do you have anything on you that's going to hurt me?
No.
Anything I need to know about?
No.
All right. Do you know?
There's nobody in the back.
You guys going outside? Lift your left foot up for me. All right, he's clear.
Let's have him take a seat in the front of the Jeep right here.
All right, go over to this Jeep right here. Yeah, the Jeep right here in the driveway.
Go ahead and take a seat.
Ow. Can you adjust the handcuff?
Yeah, we'll take care of that in a minute, right?
All right.
Just the dog in the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the only thing I need there.
After decades of living an ordinary life, the man investigators believed was responsible for a series of brutal killings was finally in custody.
All right. Go ahead, get your right foot out. Lean forward. There you go. Step on out. Go ahead and turn around and face me.
When John Arthur Gautreaux was brought into the interrogation room, he no longer looked like the image most people would associate with a serial killer. By that point, he was living a quiet life as a father in Hayward, California, and seemingly far removed from the violence detectives were about to confront him with. Sitting across from investigators, the elderly man appeared calm, occasionally confused, speaking as though the events they were discussing belonged to another lifetime entirely.
So I'm Sergeant. Okay. I'll let you know what's going on and why you're here today.
Yeah,
okay?
I'd like to know.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. Before I let you know what's going on, I just want to get your personal information. Just confirm your name. Your full name is John Arthur
Gautreaux.
Gautreaux?
Getreu.
Okay. Do you go by any other names?
No.
No. Okay. And your address is Street. Okay. Do you have a home phone and cell phone?
I don't remember them.
Okay.
But detectives weren't there to talk about the present. They wanted answers about a murder from 1973.
Okay, so I've been doing this investigation, okay, and in this investigation I've talked to numerous people, and your name came up in my investigation as well. That's why you're here, and I want to talk to you about that investigation. And I'd like to tell you what's going on. But before I ask you any questions, I'm going to read you your rights, okay?
Yeah.
You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Anything you say can be used against you in court. Do you understand?
Right.
Okay. You have the right to the presence of an attorney before and during questioning. Do you understand?
Right.
Okay. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you free of charge before any questioning if you want. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd like to talk to you about this investigation that I'm doing, and your name came up in my investigation. Do you know why you think you're here?
Do what?
Do you know why you think you're here?
No, I don't.
Okay. You don't have any idea of why
No.
I'd be talking to you?
No.
Okay. Can you tell me just a little bit about yourself? You mentioned that you were in Germany. You went to college in Germany.
Yeah, I went to school in Germany. I lived with my parents.
Okay.
My father was in the army for 36 years.
Okay. Where did you originally? Where were you born?
I was born in Newark, Ohio.
Newark, Ohio. Okay.
Yeah.
How long did you live there?
Off and on for about 4 years, I guess.
Okay. And then you mentioned your father was in the military.
Yeah.
So obviously you probably moved around a lot.
Yeah, 41 schools, elementary schools,
Wow.
or 2 high school.
Did you get to travel the world at least?
Oh, yeah.
Other than Germany?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was in Japan.
Japan?
Yeah.
Okay. And then around the United States as
Yeah.
well? So in high school, where did you go to high school?
Back Kreuzberg, Germany.
In Germany?
Yeah.
And then you ended up staying in Germany and going to college there as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you graduate from college?
No.
No? Okay. And then from Germany, where'd you go? After you
Germany,
left
I
college?
came back to the United States.
Okay. Where'd you move to?
North Carolina.
Okay. When did you end up in the Bay Area?
Oh man. The year would be impossible.
As questioning began, investigators slowly introduced the evidence that had reopened the decades-old cold case.
So I want to tell you a little bit about my investigation, okay? I'm hoping you can help me out, because my job is merely to find the truth,
Right.
in this investigation. Are you familiar with the with Palo Alto area, Stanford area, the hills in Stanford?
Yeah.
You ever go out there? You
I
ever,
was a scout leader. I traveled all those hills.
what hills? Which hills are you talking?
Well, we were out in the Bay, Half Moon Bay Hills,
Okay.
and I traveled up through there, hiked with the boys.
Okay.
That was about it. And years, don't ask me the years.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So you were a scout leader, and
Yeah.
you'd go out to like the Santa Cruz Hills
Yeah.
to do hiking.
Yeah.
When was this, like on the weekends?
Yeah,
or-
mostly weekends.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old were the scouts back then?
Oh, scouts were anywhere from 11 till 18, I
Okay.
guess it was. I never had any older boys, but
Okay. How long did you do that?
for quite a few years.
Okay. Did you ever go in the hills, like in the area around Page Mill Road? Page Mill Road, like just west of Stanford?
No.
No, you never went to that area?
No.
Okay. So I'm investigating there's a murder up there in the hills. And would there be any reason that you were ever up in those hills? No?
No.
Okay. Do you ever recall being in the area of Page Mill Road and Old Page Mill Road? There used to be an old quarry back there up in the hills.
No.
Never been up in that area?
No.
Okay.
An old quarry. No.
Yeah, there's an old quarry back there. There's back in '73, a young man committed suicide up there. Did you ever hear about that?
No.
You were probably living in Palo Alto at the time.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think-
wait a minute. No, I don't think it was. He committed suicide or something.
do you remember hearing about that?
I read it, glanced at the paper. I don't remember the.
Okay. A young man went up there, committed suicide with a shotgun.
Oh no.
No, no. You didn't hear about that?
No.
I'm sure it was, back then. A lot of people probably talked about it in Palo Alto since it.
No.
it
I was
happened
with
there.
the scouts then.
Okay.
Sergeant Mach was my advisor for, I think he's retired. He must be retired now.
Sergeant with what department?
Police department.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that was who it was.
How old? You think he's still around, or probably not?
Yeah.
At the time when you were living in Palo Alto, what type of vehicle did you drive?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Did you have a Dodge? 1966, maybe? No? You don't recall at all what kind of vehicle you drove? When you were going to work, do you know what kind of vehicle you were driving at the time? No? Just doesn't bring back memories at all? No?
No.
Okay.
DNA recovered from underneath the victim's fingernails had recently been re-examined using modern forensic technology. Detectives also revealed that they had secretly collected discarded DNA connected to Getra from the cup he threw during surveillance, and the results had come back as a match. At that moment, the gap between 1973 and the present suddenly disappeared. Getra immediately began denying everything. He claimed he didn't know the victim, denied recognizing the crime scene, and repeatedly insisted he had nothing to do with the incident.
Do you remember ever going to the area of like Page Mill Road, Old Page Mill, and seeing an orange car parked on the street over there?
No. An orange car?
Orange
No.
Nova?
No.
No? You don't remember ever stopping by and looking into it or looking at it?
Not me. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't stop by for any cars.
When you were working as a scout leader, did you ever present yourself like law enforcement or anything like that?
No way.
Okay.
No way.
Okay. I had to ask.
No.
Okay. All right.
But as detectives pressed harder, his demeanor subtly shifted. The calm confidence began to give way to visible discomfort. Investigators carefully explained that DNA beneath a victim's fingernails is extremely difficult to dismiss as accidental contact. To them, it suggested violent physical interaction during a struggle. The pressure inside the room kept building. Detectives made it clear that this wasn't weak circumstantial evidence or a vague witness statement. According to them, the forensic evidence physically placed him with the victim during her final moments. The case John Arthur Gatry believed had been buried in the 1970s was suddenly alive in front of him. But to understand why investigators never stopped chasing this case, we have to go back to 1973, because long before advanced DNA databases and modern forensic science existed, a 21-year-old woman vanished near Stanford University under terrifying circumstances. And for decades afterward, it seemed like the man responsible had disappeared into ordinary life right alongside the truth. In early 1973, Leslie Perlov was just beginning the next chapter of her life. At only 21 years old, she was intelligent, ambitious, and had recently graduated from college. Friends and family saw her as bright and full of potential, someone stepping into adulthood with her future still unfolding ahead of her. Around the Stanford area, where she worked, Leslie appeared to be building an ordinary young life, one that should have stretched decades into the future. But on February 13th, 1973, something went terribly wrong. After work, Leslie suddenly disappeared. When she failed to return home, and nobody could reach her, concern quickly spread among those close to her. The situation became even more alarming when her orange Chevrolet Nova was discovered abandoned near Old Page Mill Road, an isolated area close to Stanford University. Even before her body was found, investigators sensed something deeply unsettling about the scene. Her car hadn't simply been left behind casually. It felt abandoned in a place chosen for a reason. Then, 3 days later, the case turned horrifying. Leslie Perlov's body was discovered near the roadside. Investigators determined she had been strangled with a floral scarf and sexually assaulted before her death. The brutality of the crime shocked detectives, and the isolated location only added to the eerie feeling surrounding the investigation. But hidden within the evidence collected from the crime scene was something no one in 1973 fully understood yet. Something microscopic that would survive for decades, waiting silently for science to evolve enough to uncover the truth. In the months following Leslie Perlov's murder, investigators worked the case aggressively. Detectives conducted interviews, explored potential suspects, and searched for anything that could connect someone to the brutal crime. But despite their efforts, the investigation slowly began losing momentum. The problem wasn't a lack of determination. It was the limitations of the 1970s. Advanced DNA testing didn't exist yet. Forensic genealogy was still decades away, and biological evidence could be collected but was not fully understood the way it is today. Detectives had clues, yet yet they didn't have the technology to interpret them. Still, one crucial decision would later change everything, because investigators had carefully preserved Leslie's fingernail clippings and other biological evidence for decades. As years turned into decades, the public slowly forgot the case, while Leslie's killer continued living freely. But by 2018, forensic science had changed completely. Decades after Leslie Perlov's murder, investigators reopened the cold case and began re-examining the preserved evidence using modern DNA technology with advancements that would have seemed impossible back in 1973. Among the most important pieces of evidence were the fingernail clippings collected from Leslie's body. As the DNA profile developed, detectives identified a possible suspect, who was none other than John Arthur Gautreau. Surveillance teams quietly monitored him before secretly collecting discarded DNA from his cup. When testing confirmed the match, the decades-old mystery suddenly cracked open. By the early 1970s, John Arthur Gautreau appeared to be living an ordinary life in California. He worked as a medical technician at Stanford University, blending into the environment around him, while building the image of a quiet and educated man. Decades later, as an elderly father living in Hayward, he seemed even further removed from the brutal crimes detectives were investigating.
Are you currently married?
Yes, I'm married.
You're married? Okay. What's your wife's name? And what's her last name? Same as
No, she goes get married. Well, she's married,
Okay.
but she goes to work by.
Okay. Do you have any children?
Yes, I have a son and a daughter.
Okay. And what's your son's name? And your daughter? Also?
No,
Okay.
it lives in Texas.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Arizona. And my daughter is married to a gentleman by the last name of.
That's okay if you don't remember.
But during interrogation, investigators uncovered a far darker history hidden beneath that ordinary exterior. Gautreau initially denied ever having a criminal past at all.
Have you ever been arrested in the past?
No,
No? Okay. And are you under any doctor's care currently?
yes, I am.
Okay. You take medication?
Yes, I do.
What type of medication?
I take about 10 pills.
Okay. That's a lot.
I don't remember them by name or
Okay,
anything.
that's fine.
And it's for diabetes,
Okay, all right, got it.
gastrointestinal, and a few other medical things.
Okay. Any alcohol or drug use
No.
recently? Okay.
But detectives already knew about a juvenile conviction in Mainz, Germany, involving rape and murder, which were violent crimes committed years before Leslie Perlov's death.
Juvenile jail.
So this was as you were juvenile at the
Yeah,
time?
this is when I was,
About how old do you think you were when this happened?
just out of high school.
Okay, right out of high school? And then they accused you as a juvenile?
Yeah, as a juvenile
Okay,
with a girl,
okay,
and that was it.
okay. Did you, obviously you talked to the authorities there about what happened, right?
Yeah, I was investigated by the authorities,
Uh,
not by the military.
by the German authorities?
Yeah, German police.
Okay. Did it happen, did this incident happen on the
In June.
base or
In June, off the base,
off the base? Okay.
but in a military housing area,
And so you spent actually 6 years in prison? over
something
there?
like that.
Wow. And then how, after you were released, what happened?
I just was dropped off at McGuire Air Force Base, and my father picked me up, and that was it.
That was it? You came back to the
Never
United
heard
States?
a word from him. Nothing.
Okay. Okay. And then at some point, there was another accusation against you about a sexual assault from the police
Yeah,
department?
Police department.
Okay.
That's when I was the leader of an Explorer post.
Okay. Can you tell me about what happened there?
Nothing.
Okay.
I
It's
was
just
accused, interviewed, and that was it.
Okay. Did you end up serving time for that? Do you remember?
No, I didn't.
As questioning continued, the denial slowly collapsed, and he was eventually forced to acknowledge the conviction.
Why should we allege this against you?
I don't know.
Did the police tell you what happened? Or what was the
Yeah.
allegation against her?
Sergeant Mitinsky.
Okay, that
He
was her
told
name.
me. He told me.
Oh, okay. What did he tell you?
He just said that that I was accused of.
Okay.
They got me an attorney. At
Okay.
least I think it was their
Yeah.
attorney.
Okay. And then, but do you recall what happened after that?
Oh, he just interviewed me once.
Mhm.
You know, background. You know.
Sure.
And then, just the way it went.
Okay.
I don't even know how long it lasted.
Okay. And I know you told me that you actually went to this girl's house. Did you, I'm not going to ask you, did you have sex with her?
Nope.
No? Do you remember?
Nope.
Okay.
I wish I could help you out, but
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm hoping that talking about this will bring back some of
No.
those memories. You don't recall having sex with her?
no.
Okay.
They can check DNA, I guess. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, possibly, right?
Yeah. Possibly. You know, and I don't know.
Yeah. Right. So you don't recall, you're telling me you recall going to the house, but you don't recall if you had sex with her.
No. Yeah.
Okay. And you recall talking to the police, but
I
you
don't
don't remember
remember
if you got
what you
arrested.
No, I was walked around all the time.
So you never booked physically into a jail? Okay. And from that accusation, did you have to go to court?
Probably is what it wasn't an open courtroom.
Okay. Did you ever have to plea to this accusation? Did you ever have to tell them, you pled not guilty, guilty?
Completely not guilty. I mean,
Okay.
through my attorney,
Okay.
I guess.
And what was the outcome of that accusation?
Don't know. I'm still walking around.
Yeah. So you never spent time in jail for that accusation?
Yeah.
Okay.
To investigators, the revelation was deeply disturbing. This was no longer a cold case pointing to one isolated attack. It suggested a violent pattern stretching across decades and even across countries. The past John Gautreaux tried to bury in Germany had followed him all the way to California, and detectives believed Leslie Perlov was never his only victim. Inside the interrogation room, Gautreaux continued repeating the same denials. He insisted he didn't know Leslie Perlov. He claimed he had never been to the road where her body was discovered, and denied any involvement in the murder over and over again, even as detectives carefully laid out the evidence in front of him.
On the side of the road. You ever see this young lady? You know her?
No, who's that?
It's a young lady an investigation I'm doing, and she was murdered. Do you ever see her at all?
No.
She look familiar? Again, I mentioned to you that she was murdered up in the hills west of Stanford. Again, by Page Mill Road.
Yeah, I know where Page Mill is.
Do you remember Page Mill? And there's Old Page Mill, the side road that goes up to.
No.
Did you ever stop there at all?
No. Old Page, unless I come in from
So if you're going
coming from back at Stanford near the golf course straight through
Okay.
and up the hill, or through Alma.
Okay.
That's the only times I've been up that way.
Okay. Did you own a pet back then, in the early 70s? Did you ever own a
I
pet?
don't remember.
Did you own a dog?
A what?
A dog?
Yeah, I've got one now.
No, I mean, did you own a dog back when you were living in Palo
I've
Alto?
owned so many dogs so many times, I don't know.
Okay.
And cats.
Well, I mean, I think you would remember if you had a dog living on Alma, which.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Because a lot of apartments don't allow pets.
Oh, I see.
So,
So both your residents in Palo Alto, Alma, and were apartments?
yes.
Okay.
The investigators never raised their voices. They didn't need to. Instead, they calmly explained why the DNA evidence was so devastating. Leslie's attacker had likely struggled with her moments before her death, leaving biological material trapped beneath her fingernails.
Are you familiar with DNA?
Yeah.
Okay. Would there any? I think I asked you. Would there be any reason for your DNA to be on this young lady here?
No.
Okay. Because you said you didn't know her.
I don't even recognize her. She don't even look familiar.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you remember ever stopping by the side of the road and looking into this vehicle?
No,
It's an orange Chevy Nova.
no,
No?
no, sir.
Okay.
There's a couple more pictures in there.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's
Over there.
no, it's this one, and then
The colored photograph.
yeah, these are the photos of the vehicle.
Oh, there's a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take a
No,
look at it.
I never seen this vehicle. Nope.
So if you notice in the background there, that's the area.
That's a farm. It looks like.
Yeah,
Because
that's
off of Page Mill up in that area
yeah.
is all farms.
Did you ever
I
go?
guess it's fun.
You ever go up in those hills?
No, not this side of. On this side, that park, City Park, I think is one of them. But you know, I've always been on the other side
On the other side of
of the hill.
the hill.
That's what I call them,
Okay.
of the mountain or whatever it is.
So how would you access that to get to that hill there,
I
if you
don't
recall?
know. I don't know. Oops.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Want me to get it? You got it?
Yeah.
So you don't recall ever seeing this car,
I
stopping
don't.
by this car? Okay. Would you have any idea this murder I'm investigating in 1973?
On where?
A murder in 1973.
Investigating.
Invest. Now I know you heard about the guy that committed suicide in those
Yeah.
hills. At the same time, her murder came out at the same time. Do you recall seeing that in the paper? I mean,
No.
it was out there.
No.
Okay. So, and I know that you said your DNA would not be on her, right?
Yeah, it shouldn't be. I mean, not. You know,
Yeah.
why it should. I didn't even date a girl then.
Okay. You were married at the time?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any idea who would do something like that back then?
Well, I don't know DNA. If it's so many points on DNA, couldn't be somebody else
Sure.
unless there's somebody in my chain or something, or the chain.
Okay. Is there anybody in your chain, like twin
No.
brother or anybody, anything like that? No.
I don't have
Older
a twin brother.
You have a brother, right?
Yeah.
Older or younger?
Younger.
Where's he live?
He lives in Modesto.
Okay. Where was he living in 1973?
I would say San Jose.
Okay. Now this young lady was obviously murdered, like I said. She was strangled.
Mm,
Would you ever think about doing anything like that?
nope.
Okay. What about? I know you had
Except when I was married.
sure. After you found out she was cheating on you, right?
Yeah.
I know that you were accused of an assault. Right? Would you ever think about committing a assault?
I have no reason for it.
And I'm going to ask you these tough questions
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
part of the investigation. So do you ever think about doing anything like that? I think I asked you that.
No.
Okay. If
Now, if it was the last 5 years, it's up a tree. So
what's that? What do you mean?
if it was a crime like that happened within the last 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
I'm impotent.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It don't work.
All right. All right. Yeah, that
The
was-
thought's still there.
Sure. Sure.
You know.
When you were younger, did you ever fantasize about assault?
It's what it sounds like by looking at my record.
Yeah. Or killing a young woman? Okay.
No.
In this investigation, if your DNA was on this young lady, why would you think your DNA was on her?
Haven't the slightest idea.
Were you involved in the murder of this young girl?
Nope.
If I had a lie detector test,
I'll take a lie detector test.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What would it come back as?
Should come back negative.
Okay.
Depends on what questions you ask me.
Sure. If I asked you if you killed her, what would it say?
No.
Okay. And that's the reason I'm talking to you right now. Okay. All right.
Combined with the evidence of sexual assault, the DNA made it clear this wasn't something that could be explained away through coincidence or accidental contact. As questioning continued, Gertrude's behavior became increasingly uneasy. His answers shifted. Certain details were forgotten, while others were strangely specific.
What do you know about DNA and how it works?
Just what I've read. I mean, in novels, and today is one of the investigative areas of investigating a crime.
Mm-hmm.
That's much.
Do you know the different forms of DNA?
No.
The different types that are out there? You mentioned two, saliva and semen.
Yeah, I don't know of anything else really.
Okay. Have you ever heard of contact DNA?
I've heard of. Well, yeah, I think contact DNA.
What's your understanding of contact DNA?
Yeah, or just contact there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if a person touched the surface,
if I grab somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously there's DNA in this investigation,
Right.
right? And you've come up as one of the people
Mhm.
that's been tied to this investigation through some sort of
Right.
DNA. All right. And you had mentioned semen. You had mentioned saliva. All right. Now there's contact DNA. There's other types of DNA. There's hair,
Man.
right? There's skin cells.
I don't think the hair is.
And I know Sergeant showed you a photograph,
Right.
and you said that you didn't know who that person was. What I'd like to do is, do you have a copy of the photograph with you?
Yeah.
What we're going to do is, I'd like to leave you with a copy of that photograph for a little while.
Yeah.
All right. And now knowing that there are different types of DNA, I'd like you to just sit here for a little while and think about, maybe you met this girl in passing,
Mm-hmm.
at one point in your life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to think about it,
Yeah.
okay? Like I said, we need to be thorough in these investigations. We need to make sure that when we rule people out, that they truly didn't commit a crime, all right? Especially when somebody's lost their life.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna give you a little while to think about this case, how your DNA may have possibly ended up involved in this association.
Really know.
And I understand that, and maybe given a little bit of time, you'll think about it, and you'll come up with a way that maybe it did happen. Maybe you did meet this girl somewhere in passing.
In passing.
And in the meantime, we would like to get you some food. Do you have any dietary restrictions?
No.
None at all? Okay. What do you like to eat?
Nothing.
I know you may not be hungry now, but what do you like to eat?
Steak, medium rare.
I don't know if we're going to find a steak around
I
here.
don't like steak anyway.
Okay.
No.
What do you normally eat?
Whatever there's to cook or put on the table.
Okay. All right. We're going to grab you some food. We'll be back in a little while, okay? Go ahead and hang on. Hold on.
I don't need it. To me,
Nervous pauses began filling the room, and despite all the denials, he never gave investigators a believable explanation for why his DNA was there. Eventually, the interrogation slowed, after Gertrude requested an attorney, and in many ways, that moment seemed to signal that reality had finally caught up with him.
I find them interesting. Okay. So when I'm talking to somebody that's been involved in them, I generally like to find out the circumstances and why.
well,
It makes me better at my job.
yeah, that's good. I wish you luck.
So what happened in Germany?
Yeah.
You said you were young.
Yeah, I was young. I was fresh out of school. Who knows?
How did you meet the girl in Germany?
Just a random person.
Did you guys live on the same military base?
Yeah, her father was in the military there.
What'd your dad do in the military?
I can't say.
You can't say because you don't know, or you're just not allowed to
I'm
say?
not allowed to say it.
Okay. So you'd mentioned, was he in Special Forces?
Hmm? Could be.
Could be. Okay. Did the girl in Germany, what was her name?
I don't know.
Did you guys meet in school?
I never met her in school.
Okay.
Never introduced.
Were you guys the same age?
No, not that I know of.
Was she younger, older?
I guess they said I was older.
You were older?
Yeah.
Do you remember how much older?
No.
So, what were the circumstances that led up to the situation in Germany?
The situation there was not. The situation they accused me of originally was not true.
What did they accuse you
I
of?
wasn't there.
Well, I'm confused. On one hand, you said you weren't there, but on the other hand, you said you were young,
Well, I was,
and that
I
the
was
situation,
not there.
circumstances were
wasn't
completely
there.
different.
I wasn't there.
You find, or do you understand how difficult it is for us to believe that
Yeah, I
there's
understand it.
a situation in Germany
Yeah.
where a girl ends up dead and you weren't there?
Hmm.
And we have a situation
Here,
here
that was
years later after you came back to the States where a girl ends up dead and you say you weren't there, yet your DNA is there.
Hmm.
What do you think the chances are of that happening?
I don't know.
What would you do if you were us and you were investigating this case? What would that look like to you?
There's a brick wall.
What do you mean there's a brick wall?
Well, I mean, you found out, you couldn't find out, so.
What do you mean I found out and I couldn't find
Oh,
out?
nothing. I'm just let it go. I'm.
Well, you understand it's my job not
Yeah.
to let things like that
I'm
go,
not,
right?
I'm not I have nothing to say about it.
It's got to be quite a burden, John.
Hmm. Well, I'm going to put the questioning from here on, unless I'm represented by somebody in the courts.
What do you mean?
A lawyer.
You'd like a lawyer?
I like a lawyer.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
John Arthur Gattreau ultimately pleaded guilty to the first-degree murder of Leslie Perlov. After decades of denials, shifting explanations, and mounting DNA evidence, the case that had remained unsolved since 1973 finally reached its conclusion in court. The court accepted the plea, bringing long-delayed legal closure to a case that had haunted investigators for nearly half a century. He was sentenced to life imprisonment. For Leslie Perlov, who was just 21 years old, justice came decades too late, but it finally came through. A young life taken in 1973 finally got its answer in court in the modern era. Decades later, science succeeded where time had failed. John Arthur Gattreau died on September 22nd in state prison in Stockton at the age of 79, bringing the final chapter of the case to a quiet legal close. For the family of Leslie Perlov, the outcome could never truly restore what was lost, but it did bring long-awaited answers to a case that had remained unresolved for nearly half a century. But what do you think stood out most in this case? Was it the DNA under the fingernails, or how he managed to live free for over 4 decades? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.